let's talk about a new game that is in early development that I just found out about. It's from a member of my community on the Legend Bowl Discord, and the guy's name is Gridiron Masters on there. And we have a dev help channel on there where we talk about development of games and share ideas and help people with coding in general. And a lot of it's with games as well. And I found some posts on there, and this one came up, and it was very appealing to me. I said to myself, what is this? Is this just a mock-up? Are these screens from another game? This looks very much like the ESPN NFL 2K5 screens, and I was just blown away with how clean these looked. So I started digging into it, and lo and behold, it is being developed full-time by a member of the community who has a YouTube channel. I got all the links down below. Go check out the YouTube channel. And football games need support. He's done some videos. I ran across a video on there. You should go check it out. It's about football games and what makes up a football game, right? What is it that we actually consider to be a football game? Because as we all know, the football landscape is very much underserved. We do not have anywhere near the games that we used to have, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that the license is being consumed by one company, but at the same time, we don't have any other options because people are not willing to take the risk or invest in games to come up with different kinds of football games. And this one is very unique. And I want to talk to you guys about this today. I want to share it with you guys in the community and share it with my crowd, because this kind of game gets me excited just because it is different. And I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about it. But you can go ahead and check out the YouTube channel below. He's got a devlog on there that he did a live stream. Go check out his Discord. There is no Steam page yet. He's been doing this for almost a year now, and I think it's about 30 to 40% complete. So he's planning on trying to get this out within the next year, so about a 2-year total timeline. And this is a full-time dev working on a real football game, guys. And right now he's targeting PC from what I understand. And this is not my game. This is not my thing, but I am a fan of football games, and I wanted to share it with you guys in the community so you know what's out there. And I'm a fan, so I want to share it with you. So I'm going to walk through some screens here, and as we go through these screens, we're just going to give you an idea of what's coming. But what this game is basically based off of is the early 90s era football. And I don't think he has all the design really down. He did a full hour or so stream where you can check it out in the YouTube and on his YouTube channel, and he talks through it. It's very lengthy, but if you're interested, he goes through a lot. He's got a lot of design information in there that he's put together and screen mock-ups that he's done, and he really wants to capture that RPG element where it's not so crazy number crunching heavy like some of the sports management games are, like FIFA, like the soccer management game. The name escapes me all of a sudden. I don't know why, but I don't play it. But it's Football Manager, I think it's called. And those games are great, but they're also very labor intensive because they make you really spend a lot of time trying to dig in and crunch numbers, and it takes a lot of effort, right? It's a lot of work on your end to make that game experience, work for you. Then you have the other flip side of that, which is kind of where I like Retro Bowl, which I don't really play it much, but I did test it out. I tried it out, and that game is on the flip side. It's very, very light, very quick, too quick for me. There's not enough meat on the bone there, and this is trying to find that middle ground. And this is a game that I've thought about in my life. I wish we had, which hopefully it turns out to be like this. And I'm not trying to, prop it up because it may not even come out. Who knows? Games are very hard to finish. I can tell you from experience, they're hard. And I'm hoping and I'm rooting for this guy. And I wanted to share it with you so you guys can support. And this guy needs all the help he can get. He's got a Patreon. Hit him up and do what you can to support indies, because we need all the help we can get. But I want to walk you through it. If you really want to dig deep, like I said, go check out his YouTube channel because he has a live stream there where he went through it all. But I'm going to go through the highlights and tell you guys what I like about it and go from there. So the first thing that caught my eye was the UI, right? The UI is beautiful, very crisp. I wish my game had this kind of UI, but I also have a very pixel art game. And as you can see here, he made King Havo. He made me in the game, although he made me like a really old dude. But he's an offensive coordinator here. And I think that you're going to go through different positions. And you're going to kind of earn your stripes, right? You're going to start out in high school, I believe. And then I think it just depends on how your story goes. But you can, go from high school to college and then from college over to the pros. And you can play different coaching roles, right? You can be the HC, the OC, the DC, special teams coach. I think you can shuffle around to different coaches, and every week that you're playing, you're going to have this RPG type of strategy, things that you can do in the game to improve your team, improve your personnel, your staff, and really start to build this world. And that's what he wants to do. He's a big fan of ESPN NFL 2K5. And this is, I think, in the, like I said, it's in the different eras, back in the 90s, the retro style games. And there's a lot here to unpack. And like I said, some of these screens here are actually in the game. And some of them are mock-ups that he did that he's going to be designing the game to look like. And I have them all mixed in here. So some are in the game and some aren't. So just keep in mind that this is what the game is supposed to look like. And some of these are already in the game. There's a lot of depth here, but the goal is to not make it so deep to where you can't keep up with it, right? Where it's just too much, too overwhelming, too hard to pick up. But the idea is to have this football universe where you come in, this is going to be a challenge for the guy. I mean, I've been trying to talk to him because I know that trying to create a universe inside of football has been very hard to do. No other game has done it well. ESPN NFL 2K5 is the one that I think has done it the closest, and that's only because they had the great halftime or the weekly wrap-up shows where they went through all the highlights and they talked to you about the draft picks coming and the injured players that are on the injury report and the coming playoff games. And they try to tie in timelines like winning streaks and losing streaks and things like that. And that's the game that's come the closest to it, but we've had nothing anywhere near close to that ever since, in my opinion. So I would love to have a game where you have all of that, right? And this game might be the game. It might be, right? So I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'm going to be looking out for this game. I'm really, really in this guy's corner. I wish I could develop this game. I think it's a great game idea. And I'll rewind because I know I'm excited here, but I'll rewind because these screens are a little smaller. But what this game is and what it's not, right? He's got an entire YouTube video talking about what it's not. And it's not going to be Madden, right? It's not going to be 2K. It's not going to be a sticks kills game like Legend Bowl. It's not going to be your conventional football game that's a Madden clone like all the games that are out there. Maximum Football, Access Football, Madden, all the old games of the past. And it's not even going to be a sports management sim like the Football Manager game, right? It's not going to be a game where you're doing chores. You come in, you do chores, and you leave, right? And it's not even going to be a 3D game. It's going to be a 2D pixel art style game. It's going to be higher res pixel art than something like Legend Bowl. But it's different. It's going to be a football RPG with different classes and attributes and skills that you have to, you start out with a certain skill and you improve on that skill and you may add new skills to your tool set. But it's all about being a tactician, right? Tactical gameplay. You're going to be in coach mode where you're going to be able to pick your plays and watch your games unfold, but you're not going to actually control the players, right? but there's going to be some elements in there where it's very tactical and not mundane, not a very boring thing, where the X's and O's kind of mean something, but you don't have to be a football guru to figure it all out either, right? But the main thing that I like is this vivid football world, right? He's going to have multiple levels, the high school, college, and pro. The presentation is going to be like what you see here. He's hoping to have some kind of sport show that talks about the league, and it's going to have unique teams and locations and experiences and all that good stuff. But the focus is going to be on role play, right? Strategy, story, sports nostalgia, something that we really haven't been able to tap into in the football landscape. It just hasn't been there, right? And for somebody like me, I would play this game. I feel like if it had this world that he's trying to build, then I think that it would be a hit. I think it would really be a hit, and I might end up being a part of the game. He doesn't know that yet, and he's going to probably watch this and be like, okay, I have to go through him, but I may end up working on this game at some level. I don't know. That's a crazy, long stretch. Probably not going to happen, right? Highly unlikely, but I'm excited about something like this. And I do have concerns though with how do you create this football universe on a shoestring budget with one guy. No other company has been ever been able to do this. No studio's been able to do this before. NBA 2K does a decent job of trying to create that. Other sports games try to do that, but really there hasn't been many out there that give you that immersion and make it dynamic enough where it feels alive, where you feel like natural things are going to come up. You feel like it's not just repetitive and mundane, like I mentioned earlier. It's going to have, and in order for it to have all that, it's going to have a lot of writing. It's going to have events and news and things that really give it that unique, fresh flavor. You're going to have ways where you can edit your playbooks, like this screen here. You're going to be able to go in and create your own playbooks and build this scheme for your team and try to take advantage of your personnel, right? Try to get a team put together that will benefit from your coaching, and that's the goal, right? And I don't even think it's like head coach, the EA game. I think it's going to be a lighter version of that. I think it's going to be something that feels good. And like I said, he's got a very, very challenging road ahead, because how do you do that while not making it too labor intensive, but also don't make it so simple where things that you do don't really matter? Like, there's going to have to be a sweet spot there where you need to do just enough to make it strategic, and the things that you do in the game have consequences and have benefits, right? And based off of those moves that you make and the decisions that you make in the game, they're going to determine how successful you are, right? And then you can choose your path, what teams you want to, accept contracts for, what roles you want to play in your team. Do you want to go to the pros? Obviously, the entire game is going to be based in a fictional world, but he has a lot of logos that he has so far, and he is hopefully going to have more down the road. Your coach is going to age over time, so he's got that he's working on as well. But there's a lot. There are, like I said, there are a lot of things here. There are attributes like leadership, personality, management, development, tactics. There are going to be skills that are associated with it as well. But you're going to be doing that role-playing RPG style type of thing, right? You're going to have classes in your game. You're going to be able to level up those classes. And there's an entire football world that he's trying to do. It's going to have all those 3 levels that we talked about, and 32 teams, division title, state title, national title. That's going to be the high school. College is going to be 11 conferences or so, conference title, bowls, playoff games. It's going to be a lot, then there's going to be a whole entire list of like coach tasks, right? Acquiring players, training players, designing playbooks. I mean, the whole 9 yards. And I think with a game like this, the key is not only finding this dynamic virtual like world that feels alive, but also having a beautiful UI, right? Having a UI that you want to look at, that you want to interact with, right? That gives you just enough information where it's not overwhelming. And I love these screens because you know what they remind us of, and they're very, very clean, right? I do think that the scope is huge. I do worry about that because this is not going to be, in my opinion, an easy task to pull off. And I want to see how it goes, and I'm betting on this guy. I mean, I don't claim to be the smartest guy in the world. I'm not. But I'm already thinking, my brain is starting to smoke when I think about what it's going to take to fill up all these screens, how much work it's going to take to actually make this a living world, living, breathing world that you can feel the connection between players and coaches and teams and leagues and all that good stuff. As we're going through these screens, I'm just blown away with how nice they look. And I'm not talking it up like I have no idea what this game's going to do. I don't even know if it's going to get finished, but this is what gets me hyped up, right? These types of games that are just that we don't have enough of, right? And go watch his video. He's got a video about what makes it a football. What is a football game? What makes a game called a football game? What do you call it? Is it just your modern day Madden clones? Is it something else? But in the end, there are so many types of games that you can make based off of football, right? And this is something that I think has a lot of potential. The on-field gameplay is going to be based off of just a side view. I think that's just going to look basic, but I think it's going to hopefully look good enough to where you can play through a game and not feel like it's boring. I wish Legend Bowl was behind something like this, but like I said, I think Legend Bowl is Legend Bowl is a Simcade game. There's a lot of cool stuff in that game, and trust me, I love the game, but I think this isn't about gameplay. This game is about strategy, right? That's the goal here, and I think something like Legend Bowl is a mix of Tecmo Bowl and the modern day games as well, and the 2K games. You're going to have a mailbox with people that send you letters, and you're going to want to go through and read those, and I don't know how that ties into improving your skill. I know that I don't really typically watch or read these types of messages that come in, but if it's tied to some kind of mini game and you earn some points or earn some kind of skill points for looking through them, or you find some Easter eggs, I don't know, but there's a lot of writing behind this, right? Like, how's he going to do all this? I don't know. There's training for the off season to get your players' development skills up. There's player contracts. He's planning on doing some kind of press conference after games, or I think within the week. I mean, all this stuff looks amazing to me. And, I hope that you guys are as enamored with it as I am, because there's a lot to unlock here. And here's the page where, here's an example of kind of what he's targeting in terms of the graphical style of the game and what it's going to kind of look like on the field. And this is an older game that he's using as an example, but this is just to give you an idea of what it might look like on the field. And I think it looks pretty awesome, right? I've even thought about making Legend Bowl 2D or side view like this, horizontal view. I've thought about what it would take to have a way to just toggle that in the game. And I'm crazy enough to do it one day, but I'm going to need new sprites, and it's not as easy as you think, right? It's not as easy as you think, but it is possible. More stuff here where you're hiring staff. There's a lot of screens. You guys need to go check out his Discord. He's putting up brand new screens daily. and he's putting a lot of work in, and he's just starting out. So I think that, like I said, if you want more football options and you think that you think that you can look past the Madden clones, check this game out. Go check it out. Hopefully he has a Steam page up soon. I'll be keeping an eye on this game. I know this video was pretty long, but if you stuck around, hit the like button. Go check out his YouTube. Go subscribe to him. And let's get another football game that's totally different on the map. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Check out Gridiron Masters 98. It's going to be coming soon. All right. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.